Hello and welcome to today's class, which is called Handle Your World. And we all have a solar and a lunar world, which is the right hand. We deal with external influences, we seal the deals, we handle the challenges life is throwing at us. And the left side, the lunar side, is our emotional side. And here we are dealing with our relationships with ourselves, with the way we dealt with situations internally. So today's class is all of the combining of the integration of both sides, because both sides are having their strength. And this practice is supposed to, or a practice in general, can inform you about your potential to make clear at what situation or what situations are making you want to turn on your heels and run away, and to get the courage to stand up and face the demands on your solar or lunar side. So I don't have a block, I use a pillow, and I will mention the block whenever I think it's useful. So first of all, come onto your back for our reset. Bring the block the medium way between your thighs here and press it hard together, squeeze. It's nice to have feedback from the block. So from here, lay down and bring your feet a little bit farther away than you would normally do, not too far, but here, so your shoulder blades are on the mat. You find your skull, your shoulder blades and your sacrum, and then bring your hands onto your thighs and push away. Dial your feet out. So you already feel some activation on the back line of your body. So from here, lift your pelvis up like 2 or 3 inches, not too high. And then you can come onto your tippy toes and lower and lift your heels just to feel this little activation here. From here, we bring our hands up. Bring your palms up the sky. And then bring your lower your heels, grab your right fingers and pull your fingers towards your face, towards your head. If your shoulders are okay with it, you can bring your arms overhead, which can feel really nice. And we start to pulse our pelvis here. Simple as that, but so effective. Your feet are dangling out, and then come back, and we switch sides. Also here, you can bring your arms, stretch your arms over your head, which is really, really nice. And then stop pulsing. Bring your hands back and lower segmentally down until you find the top of your sacrum. Get your block the medium way, or the pillow. I need to bring it here between your knees. Bring your hands behind your head. Bring your elbows at your head, pubis towards the navel, and then bring your knees over your hips. And with the exhale, lift your shoulder blades up. On retention, squeeze the block, squeeze your sit bones, and with the inhale, lower down. Exhale. Lift your shoulder blades up. Reach out your right hand, palms facing towards the mat. And lift your shoulder blades and your tailbone even up higher. It's so minimal, but so effective. Inhale, lower down. Exhale. Shoulder blades away. Stretch out your left arm, palm facing down. And bring your head, the back of your head, into your right hand. Bring the left hand back. Inhale, lower down. We add something to it. Exhale, lift up. Squeeze everything together towards the center. Stretch out the right hand and flip your palm up. Maybe even a little bit more than you think you would. Bring your hand behind your head and lower down. Exhale. Left arm stretches out. Lift your shoulder blades even up higher. Tailbone up. Bring your left palm towards the sky and maybe even a little bit higher, rotating more. Bring your left hand behind and inhale. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Stretch out your right arm, flip your palm, and then move towards your right ASIS for the obliques. Press the block together and come back to center. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, second side. Squeeze the sit bones, pubis towards the navel, stretch out your left hand, palms facing up, and move towards your left hip bone. And come back. And another round of this one. Exhale. Stretch out that hand, flip your palm. Use your palm to pull you towards your pelvis, towards your right hip bone. And then come back. Lower down. Exhale. Stretch out your left arm, flip your palm, and as if your hand is pulling you towards your left hip bone. Your hand is the doer. Your hand can do something. So do it. And come back. Lift your tailbone even up a little bit higher. Inhale. Bring your block aside. Bring your feet hip distance, mat distance apart. And your knees are pointing towards the left. Your right inner arch is pressing down. Bring your left hand on your right hip bone and stretch out the right arm to add a little more stretch here on the side. And then push with your right bum cheek towards your left hand. The right foot is pressing down. And it feels so nice after this ab work, right? And then come back. And the knees are pointing towards the right. Your right hand is on the left hip bone. Your left arm is stretching out. If this feels uncomfortable, you can also do the goalpost arm. And the left inner arch is pressing down, and you push your left bum cheek is pushing towards your right hand now. And then come back to center for our second round. Bring your hands behind your head. Interlace the fingers. You don't need the block for this one. And then bring your knees over your hips into eagle legs, right leg over the left, and squeeze the thighs together. You feel it in your bum as well. So with the exhale, come up high off your shoulder blades. Bring your your tailbone towards your knees. And with the exhale, inhale, come down. Switch sides. Exhale, squeeze the thighs together. Exhale. And squeeze the thighs together like crazy. If you have a double wrap or not is not important. And come back. And stay here. Wrap your right leg over the left. Squeeze the thighs together. Come up. And then turn an inch or two to the right. So the left elbow is pointing towards 2 o'clock, something like that, if you imagine a watch. And come back to center. And you can wiggle your feet in between. Activate all the stuff we did in the beginning. Exhale, lift your shoulder blades. Wrap your the left leg over your right, squeeze the thighs together, and then turn an inch or so to the left. You should feel the burn already. Tailbone lifts up and come back to center. And inhale. I would do one round more, but my left hip is bothering me a lot today. So, not a lot, I just can't do the internal rotation. I would teach a class like that. So, we come on all fours in a quadruped. And we do a little variation of quadruped. So, I'm looking forward to it. Come onto all fours. Bring your knees a little bit closer to your hands than you would normally do. And you can bring the balls of your feet onto the mat or your ankles. That depends what feels more comfortable for you. So from here we flip our hands 180 degrees. So the hip crease is parallel to the front of the mat. And if you see it from the front, normally it looks a little bit like this, like an X. So bring your hands a little bit closer to your knees, but shoulder width distance, hip crease parallel. Bend your elbows and turn the elbow towards the index finger. This should be more comfortable than two-way forward. I want to do it this way today. If this feels super uncomfortable for your wrists, press down. You can do several things. Press down the bottom of your index finger like crazy, or come onto your fingertips here, or you can use blocks here, or you can roll up your mat and bring the wrists onto the rolled up mat. But stay here, and we exhale into cat, exhale into cow. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and the neck is long, and you can breathe the fresh air and come back to neutral, and we circle our pelvis. You can do it a little bit faster or a little bit slower. It depends on your preferences. I like to do it a little bit faster, and then come back into center. Exhale into cat, and exhale into cow. Push the hands back like in cobra. It's a cobra chest. Then come back, flip your hands around, sit back, and maybe do some circling here. And we come into our dolphin. Just bring your elbows down a little bit closer than you think, and lift up from the pelvis. Your front ribs are in, and you just come onto your tippy toes and press the weight into your wrists. Push you out of your shoulder to avoid sinking in and flaring ribs and leaking the energy. Just come up and down, up and down. And then come into neutral. Your feet are, so to say, wristless, ceaseless. And then lift your left leg. Feet are pointing towards the mat, and bend your left leg, and we internal rotate. The left knee is pointing towards the right. Don't forget to push into your wrists, and an external rotation. The only thing that moves here is your upper thigh, the left thigh. You just do it to the right, external rotation, internal rotation, external, internal, external, internal. And then set that foot down, and we do the other side. Only hip height, don't go too far. Bend that right knee, and an internal rotation. The knee is pointing towards the left. Bend your bottom leg as much as needed, and push into your hands. Don't forget your hands. You are dealing with the situation not only with your leg or with your body, upper body. It's also in your hands. And then bring that foot down, and come onto your knees, and we meet at the front of the mat for our sun salutation A. Feet are parallel, knees are slightly bent, pelvis is neutral, and then inhale. Bring your hands in the hip crease, move back, move your pelvis back, and step your right foot back, lower the knee and the top of the foot, and rise up. Pubis towards the navel, the right glute is working. Bring both hands down, step back into plank. Lower your knees, the top of your shoulders stay high. Glutes are working, and then push into your cobra. Long neck. Come back to plank, into your up dog. You can always walk your dog when you're in up dog. Without lifting the hands or fingertips, you can also use blocks under your hands. Step your right foot forward as far as you can without lifting the hands. Bring the knee down and the top of the foot, and rise up. Left glute is working, neutral pelvis, and step your left foot forward and rise up. Exhale, move your hips back. Left foot steps back, lower the knee and the top of the foot, and rise up. Come back into plank. Lower the knees, top of the head stays high. Your hands are working, carrying you dealing with the situations. And come back into plank. And from here, you can come onto your fingertips or stay on the hands on block. Step your left foot forward as far as you can without lifting one or the other. Bring your right knee down at the top of the foot and rise up. And exhale, step forward. A second round. Inhale. Exhale, move your hips back. Step your right foot back, but not lower the knee, but not the top of the foot. And come high up. Lower your left arm so the fingers are pointing towards the mat. Pelvis is neutral and your right hand is pulling towards the sky. And we add a little side bend here. Your left hand is drawing towards the mat and your right arm is drawing towards the sky. And come back to neutral. Step back into plank. Lower your knees. Come into your cobra. Top of the head stay high, neck stays long. Belly button is lifting off the mat. Find your pinky toes. Come back into down dog. Step your right foot forward. Lower the left knee, but not the top of the foot. You come into this kneeling position. Lower your right arm. The fingers are pulling towards the mat and the left fingers pulling towards the sky. Add a side plank. Side bend. So nice. And come back to neutral. And step the back foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, move your hips back. Step the left foot back. That's different now. Lower your knee, but not the top of the foot. Wrap your left arm under the right for eagle arms. Grab your right wrist and make two fists. Be punchy. And rise up. The front foot is pulling towards the back. The back knee is pushing forward to the front of the mat. And the fist is drawing towards the sky. Neck stays long. And come back into plank. Lower the knees. And lower all the way down for your cobra. Belly button lifting up. Find your pinkies. And drop back into up dog. You can always come onto fingertips. Step your left foot forward. Lower the right knee, but not the top of the foot. And now wrap your right arm under the left for eagle arms. Make two fists. The right hand grabs the wrist, and the left fist is drawing towards the sky. A fist is always more testosterone. It's always more courage. It's always more willingness to take the risk, to step out into this world. And you have two worlds. Lower down your two hands and step forward. Inhale. And with the next inhale, rise up to stand. Bring your hands in front of your chest. From here, inhale, sequence 1. Exhale, move your chest bum back. Step back your right foot, lower the knee and not the top of the foot. And we start off the same way as we did in our Sansar 1. Right glute is working, hands are drawing towards the sky. They are your doers, they are dealing with it. Lower your left arm and side bend here. Your left ear can hang down to your left shoulder, just the hands are drawing away from each other. Just to make space, to make you spherical. Come back to center and we add a runner stretch. Bring both hands down and lift your pelvis, lift your left toes and your spine is long. The front heel pulls back and the neck is long here. So fine, right? You can always use blocks here. If you see yourself here, just use blocks here so that your spine and your pelvis can be neutral. Both hands to the mat, step back into plank. Stay here for a moment. Breathe here for a moment. Just one more moment to deal with the situation, to handle it. How are you handling it? With a transition pose like plank. From here you can lower down your knees and lower all the way down to locust pose. This is a little bit different. Find your pinky toes, neck is long, bring your hands back and they pull away from you and lift you up like on a jet ski. I see a jet ski here in the background, like this jet ski. you are the jet ski and someone is riding the waves with you. And bring your hands down, come back into down dog. Step your right foot in a little bit and lift your left leg parallel. We did this in dolphin. Bend your left knee and then internal rotate the left hip and external rotate. It's like a peeing dog, but without opening the pelvis. It's just a movement in the hip joint. Internally and externally. Internally and externally. From here, step your left foot forward to a 90-90. And this is a little bit different. Flip your hand a 90 degree. Have a slight bend here. If this is locked, first it's painful, and second you can't move very well with a locked joint. So push out of this hand so that you can move. And then lift your right elbow towards the sky. The palm is facing away. Pubis is pulling towards the navel. Your head can hang down and you can stretch out this left hand. It's a slightly different variation, and every time you change the position of your hands, you change the whole situation and you have to deal with a complete different situation. From here, turn around for side lunge to the right side of the mat. You can do with your hands whatever you want, but your feet are parallel. You can grab your ankle. You shift your weight back into the glutes, like here. I like to do it this way. This is so nice. Just to bring some fluidity in your hip joints and to give your hands, your wrists a little break. So we turn to the back of the mat for dolphin. Stay here and swing your right leg back into three-legged dolphin. Delfin is the German word. And then you can just come onto your tippy toes. Internally rotate your left thigh. The toes are pointing up, down to the mat. And then bring the right foot down and walk back into your forearm plank. Here. Stay here. Stand this situation. And then walk your feet in for dolphin. Again, front ribs in, push into your wrists, into your hands to bring that lightness into your life on both sides. Walk back into plank. And you can always, I like to swivel my pelvis here. Just add that whenever you like. And walk back into dolphin. And another round of lifting the heels and lowering. Bend your knees as much as needed. You can interlace your fingers always in dolphin. And then walk back one last time into plank. Stay here for just one more breath. And then lower your knees and come into Sphinx. Toes are down. Pinky toes. And you press into your wrists and your chest is open like in Cobra. And then lower down, bring your hands beside your rib cage and come into down dog. And we start off with the left leg forward. We come into our kneeling 90-90. Step your right foot forward, lower your left knee but not the top of the foot, and rise up. Front foot is pulling back, the back knee is pulling forward, and lower your right hand, and we add this side bend here. The right fingers up drawing down, the left fingers up pulling towards the sky. Your right ear can fall down to the right shoulder. This is so nice for the left hip. And then come back. And we come into this runner stretch. Here. Again, you can use blocks, you can use your fingertips, you can flip your hands if you like to, if your body is already ready for it. But make sure your spine is long, your pelvis is neutral, and the neck is long. Like this. From here, come back into plank. And then lower your knees, Come into your cobra. Shoulder blades are drawing towards the spine. Your hands are holding you up, dealing with the situation, handling the situation of lowering down, and your long neck push back into cobra. And then bring your hands back to locust pose. Circle your wrists. Flip your hands. And then come back from here into down dog. Now lift your right leg, bend your knees, and with the dolphin, externally and internally rotate your thigh bone. It's the hip joint. To the left, internally rotate, external rotate. Now step the right foot forward for this kneeling 1990 position. And we flip the left hand for our twisted kneeling position. The elbow is pointing towards the index, and we lift our right elbow towards the sky. Pubis is drawing towards the navel. The ASISs are stable, squeezing together. And you can also lift your right arm. This is so nice. You can circle your wrists. And from here, come into our side lunges. Also, you can be fluid like water. You can bring your thumbs into your hip crease. And make sure your front ribs are in before we turn to the front of the mat for our dolphin. Swing the left leg back into three-legged dolphin. And come onto your heels, lower your heels and lower them down. Lower your heels and lift them up. Here. And then bring that foot down and walk into your forearm plank. I have a short mat with me here. And swivel your pelvis. And come back, walk your feet in for dolphin. Press the weight into your hands because they are the doers. They are the ones who are dealing with situations. Your feet are bringing you into the situations, but your hands are doing them and handling them. I'll walk back in. Oh my gosh, that jet ski is distracting me. And walk back into plank. And swivel your pelvis. Hold just one more breath before you lower your knees into Sphinx. And draw the elbows back. Press weight into your hands. You should feel it in your forearms right now. And from here, lower down, bring your hands beside your rib cage. Come back into down dog. And walk your dog. A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. It's always nice. Shorten your dog a little bit. You can walk or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, and with the exhale, rise up. Catch your breath, and then inhale. Sequence to sun salutation A. Exhale, walk or hop back into plank. Lower into cobra. Bring your knees down or lower a third of the way down. Flip your feet. And come into up dog. And then come back into down dog. Bring your feet a little bit in. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees and walk or hop forward. Inhale. And with the next inhale, come up. Exhale. Second side. Walk or hop back into plank without moving the shoulders. You can lower your knees, lower all the way down into cobra. Push your hands back. And come back into your down dog. And walk your dog. Walk your dog. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. Shorten your dog. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. Exhale. And with the exhale, walk or hop forward. Inhale. With the exhale, rise up. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Sequence 2. Inhale. With the exhale, lower down. Step your right foot back, but your knees stay high. Now flip your right hand 180 degrees. Walk your left foot a little bit to the left if necessary. Your right glute is working, and we come into this twisted crescent. Inhale. A twisted crescent with a flipped hand. Attention. Lower your right knee. Your right hand stays flipped. We come into a modified side plank here. You can stay here. You can always flip your hand towards normal, the regular way. If you like, you can lift your left leg like this. Your right ear is hanging down. And from here, you come back, you lower your left foot. Your left hand comes onto the mat, and we come into a side plank here. Feel free to do a modified side plank on the left as well. But for now, side plank here. And from here we come into a forearm side plank on the right. Bring your right forearm down, spin around, deal with it, that it is different than usual, and lift your left arm up. And from here, come into a forearm plank. So with your pelvis, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Before you lower the knee, lower all the way down. Bring the forehead onto your mat and bring your fist to the right, besides your rib cage. Shoulder blades are drawing towards the spine. The balls of your feet are pushing down, and then from here, lift up into this cobra-like fist cobra thing. And then lift your fists up. The elbows is just a small amount, depending on your shoulder. The neck stays long, and press down the fists. And lift the fists. And press them down. Lift the fists. And press them down. Lift the fist one last time, then place your hands and come back into up dog. From here, we start off the second side. Step the right foot forward. Don't lower the knee, but flip your left hand 180 degrees so that the wrist is in line approximately with your right heel. Walk your right foot a little bit to the right if necessary. Lean into your right shoulder blade. The wrist stays straight under the left shoulder, and then turn for a twisted crescent variation. You can start off like this. The left glute is working like crazy, and you bring the right arm up. The left ear is dangling down. So nice. You can circle your right wrist just to give that wrist a release. A little bit and switch sides. And from here, attention, it's the same side. Lower your left knee and come into a modified side plank here. Feel free to lift that right leg here. You can also stretch your arm out, but make sure that the navel and the pubis are drawing towards each other, that the right or the glutes are working and keeping you stable. From here, bring your right arm down, bring your right foot on the ball of the foot, and we come into this side plank. Feel free to do a modified side plank here. The glutes are stabilizing, navel towards the pubis. And then bring your left forearm down for a forearm side plank. Here. Same here. The glutes are stabilizing the pelvis. The pelvis stays neutral, and the hands are dealing with the situation. And come back into forearm plank. And swivel your pelvis a little bit to the left and to the right. Lower your knees and lower all the way down. Find the mat with your hairline. Bring your fists right beside your rib cage, elbows pointing towards the sky, belly button away, and then move up. And from here, draw the shoulder blades together and bring the fist down. Draw the shoulder blades together, lift the fists and bring them down. Lift the fists and bring them down. One last time, lift the fists and then come back into down dog. And walk your dog, knees to the left, knees to the right. And then shorten your dog a little bit, come onto your tippy toes. Inhale, bend the knees, exhale, and hop or walk forward, inhale. And then rise up. Bring your hands in front of your heart. With the next inhale, come into Utkatasana. With the exhale, fold forward. Without moving the shoulders, hop back into plank. Lower down 1/3 of the way. You can always lower your knees. Flip one foot after another for your up dog. And come back into down dog. Step your right foot in. Lift your left leg. We will find ourselves in a high crescent. So you can add a hop here. You can simply walk forward. I like to add a hop and come into crescent pose here. Inhale. And with the exhale, walk back into plank. Lower 1/3 the way down. You can always lower the knees and come into cobra. Come into up dog. And come back, down dog. Walk your left foot in a little bit. Lift your right leg, not too high. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. And with the exhale, add a hop. And we meet ourselves with the right leg, high crescent. Here. And come down for a plank. So your pelvis. You can always lower the knees for a cobra here. Or lower 1/3 of the way down for a chaturanga and a up dog. And then come back into down dog. And sequence 3. Walk your feet in a little bit. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. Exhale. And if you like, you can add a hop or you simply walk forward between your hands. Inhale, and with the exhale, rise up and let your arms dangle and roll with the shoulders. Give yourself a break. We all need a break every now and then. So inhale, with the exhale, fold forward, step your right foot back, keep your knee high, and wrap your right arm under the left for eagle arms, what we did in the beginning. Your right glute is working. And then lift up, punchy. Deal with the situation, be courageous, look forward, look out for all the potential, all the possibilities that there are up there. So we add a humble warrior, devotional warrior here. Your right glute is working and come up. Another devotional warrior here. Inhale, stay high, your front ribs are in, glutes are working. Bring both hands down. Now swing your left leg back for a 3-legged down dog. Toes are pointing towards. If you tend to open up this hip, rotate this left leg a little bit in, and we add some hops forward. We swipe across the mat, forward and back. Your hands are the managers here. Your hands are dealing the situation, are handling it, solving the problem of bringing the foot forward and back. So stay back. And add a hop. We switch legs in the air for a low lunge, for a 90-90. You can you step forward and lower your right knee, or you add a hop and lower that right knee, not the top of the foot. And then lift your arms, your palms facing forward. Your right glute is active and pushing forward, and then open and close your hands like crazy, like crazy. Open up, open up, open up, open up. You can do this all the time. It's a good thing for your forearms to get taxed, so to say. From here we come into a side lunge to the right. Parallel your feet. And now this time bring your hands on the ankles and just move to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And then we keep our right leg bent. Bring your hands forward, let your head hang down. That's so amazing here. Just to stay here for this inner thigh, to give your hands a rest because they did a good job. Now we turn to the back of the mat for a crescent. Organize your feet, and from here windmill up to a warrior two. So from here, reverse your warrior and warrior variation. Reverse your warrior with the inhale, and with the exhale, reverse your warrior. And inhale with the exhale, warrior variation. Long, the left glute is pushing from behind. You are very, very long. And from here we come into a seated twist. Bring your left knee behind your right ankle and turn to the other side. Bring your left hand beside your left hip. Stretch out your right arm and we side bend here. And the other side. And again the other side. And we stay at the back of the mat for a down dog. Bring both hands down. Step your left foot back and come into a down dog. Simple as that. Walk your dog. And then walk your hands back to the front of the mat. And we turn to the right so that we stay in the cross-ankled forward fold. The right leg is in front. You can swivel your pelvis just to free up some stuff in the lower back. That's so nice. And then organize the feet. And we are off with the inhale to the second side. Exhale. Step your left leg back. Stay high up. Wrap your left arm under the right. Be punchy again. Be courageous. And then we come up into a high crescent. Be punchy. Be courageous. Look out and see what's there, what's in it for you. And then devotional warrior. Be thankful, be grateful for the things life has gifted to you. Because life itself is a gift. And you can grab it. You should grab it. Devotional warrior. Oops. And from here, bring both hands down and sweep your right leg back for a three-legged down dog. You remember the sweeps? So straighten your arms. Now that it's the time that they are doing their job. And you sweep forward the left and back. Sweep forward and back. Your arms stay strong. Your hands are handling it. Your hands. Rotate the right thigh a little bit in if you tend to open that, and swing your back leg up just to keep that. And from here we meet up in a 90-90 with the right leg forward. You can walk that right leg forward and just lower the left knee. Or you can add a hop and a leg switch and lower up. This time we meet with arms in goal pose. And you open your hands here. Front foot is pulling back and the back leg is pulling forward. In, out, in, out, in, out. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Like crazy. And oh my God, I can't wait for it. We are meeting in a side lunge to the left. Left leg is bent. And you can move towards the left, towards the right. This time, we bring the thumb into our hip crease and push the hip joint back, like this. Feet are parallel, front ribs are in, neck is long, and we stay with the right leg bent, with the left leg bent, and we turn to the back. in this crescent. Move your left foot a little bit to the left because we are coming into warrior two here. And the glutes are active. Simple warrior two, and you reverse your warrior with the exhale, inhale, and with the exhale, warrior variation. Inhale, exhale, reverse warrior, and warrior variation with the exhale. And stay here, work your warrior variation. The right glute is pushing from behind, what we did in the reset. It's from behind to open up that front hip. From here, seated twist. Bring your right knee on the outside of the left foot and turn to the left. You can always straighten out that left leg. This is easier. Bring your right hand down, stay up high, and then reach up for the sky. Grab everything the universe has to give you and bend to the right. Your right ear is dropping towards the right shoulder. Just to give your neck a little bit of a release. And with the neck release, you can give your wrists a little release. And here. And another one to the right. It's always so nice to have a little break. We stay at the back of the mat. We come into our simple, easy peasy down dog here. And we walk back to our feet, to the front of the mat. And maybe your knees fit into your armpits. You can bring your hands, interlace your fingers. And it's not even a gentle pull. It's just the weight of your arms, of your hands, pulling at the neck to give you a little bit of a release. And then we turn to the left for that cross-ankled forward fold. And swivel your pelvis here. Just to release some stuff on the back side, on the lower back. And from here, long neck, neutral spine, and rise up. So you can pause this video to have a drink before we put this all together for the stream. And I'm starting right here. Inhale. Exhale, bend forward. Step your right foot back. We come into these eagle arms. Grab your wrist, be punchy, high crescent with eagle arms. Enjoy the ride, enjoy what is about to come. Bring your hands down and we come into our runner stretch. Flip your hands if you want to. Long neck, long spine. And from here, tap your right knee and come back. Tap your right knee and come back. Tap your right knee and come back. Bring your hands onto the mat for a plank pose. From here, lower all the way down. You can always lower your knees, lower all the way down. For a baby cobra, bring your fingertips off the mat, the elbows stay up high. Find your pinky toes, belly button away from the mat, and then come up here. And roll your shoulders, use your hands. And from here, come back into down dog. Slide your right foot in a little bit. Lift your left leg. You can add some hops. If you want to, we meet for a side lunge. For a crescent. You can simply step forward and then we go to a side lunge. Or you can add a hop here. Lower that leg and we come for this side lunge. Also here. Move to the left, to the right. I like to make this a little bit watery because all the practice is so earthy and fiery, so that we can add a little bit of water here. Turn to the back of the mat for a dolphin or funky dolphin. Swipe your right leg back, lower your right elbow and bring your left hand aligned with the right elbow. And then come here onto your tippy toes. As simple as that. No need to hop. You can, of course, add a push away. But bring your weight into your wrists. It's the hand that is keeping the situation stable. The core is the stabilizer of the container, but your hands are the controllers of the situation. Yeah. And from here we come into plank. That was not an easy transition. I recognize that. But you can always lower your knees and we meet up into plank. And from here, we bring our feet to the right for a side plank. The glutes are pushing towards the ASISs. And then spin around, plank, side plank on the left, or you can bring your right foot behind you for a dancer's table. Here. Dancer's table. And from here we spin around, bring your right forearm down for a forearm side plank. Be spherical. Situations can change in a glimpse, so be prepared for it. And then come into a forearm plank. Swivel your pelvis a little bit and lower all the way down. And from here, we can come into locust or a bow pose. Rise up. And just enjoy this jet ski ride. And from here, come back into down dog. Bring your right foot in. Lift your left leg. You can add a hop or simply step the left foot forward for a high crescent. I would always take the chance to bear weight on your hands for a high crescent here. Then lower your left arm. Pull the fingers apart and side bend to the left. And then come back to center. We meet us for a wide-legged forward fold to the right. Parallel your feet. Bring your arms to the side. And even turn your heels a little bit out. Front ribs are in. And then just flip the palms up to the sky and back. To the sky and even a bit more so that you get your shoulders in an internal rotation. And then up. Down. Up. Down. Up. And then turn your heels in and rise up for a starfish pose. Be tall, be three-dimensional, be present before we turn the front foot to the front of the mat for a warrior two. The right heel turns back. And then inhale, and with the exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, exhale, your warrior variation. Inhale, reverse warrior, exhale. And with the inhale, warrior variation. Stay here. Bring your left foot, your back foot a little bit in. Shift your weight onto the right foot. Look down and consolidate everything. Your hands did the work. They prepared the situation for you. They prepared the whole body to keep you up here and to stay stable like rock solid. And we meet in a seated twist. Bring your left knee. Maybe you try to not use your hand. Your left knee is behind your right leg. Turn to the right and sit down. Feel free to straighten out that bottom leg. So this time we bring our fingertips onto the mat and we barrel roll. We barrel roll to the first side and just notice which side you begin to roll with. This is usually the side you feel more comfortable, you are biased to. And then barrel roll to the other side. It's such a yummy thing for the hips to do so. And from here, and this is different from the sequence 3, we turn to the back of the mat. Bring your hands to the front of your mat, turn 180 degrees, be three-dimensional. Stay here in a crescent and back into a simple down dog. And from here you can turn your knees to the left and crouch your tiger. Stay strong in your foundation, which is your hands now. Your arms are strong, your shoulder blades are doing their job and supporting the hands in keeping you up. And from here, walk your hands back for this forward fold. And then turn to the right for this cross-ankled forward fold. You can stay here and swivel your pelvis, or you come up, wrap your right arm under the left for eagle and get up. Bring your right knee over the left. Be punchy again. You can stretch your hands. I see this a lot, but as soon as I do this, I lose my stability a little bit. But if I'm punchy, if I'm courageous, if I'm more willing to keep this, and for that I make a fist. And from here, lower your right foot so that you are cross-ankled. Open your arms, set them up shoulder width distance, and this is super optional. You can swivel your pelvis here, or you can come into a cross-ankled crow pose here. We prepared the situation for this. And then come down. Stretch your left leg out for a standing L. Feel free to add a hop here, or simply come onto your tippy toes. Neck is long. This one. And then bring your left foot to the right and rise up. Second side. Exhale. Step your left foot back and wrap your left arm under the right for this eagle arm high crescent. We stay here. Bring your elbows, your fist high up to the sky. Inhale and come into a runner stretch. From here, runner stretch. You can flip your hands if you want to, and then lower that knee, tap that knee and come back. Tap that knee and come back. Tap that knee and come back. One last time, tap that knee, come back. Bring your hands forward into plank. Strong core, shoulder blades drawing from the back. They have your back. That's a whole different class, having your back. And from here, lower all the way down. Feel free to lower the knees. And then bring your right arm in go pose. The elbow a little bit lower than your shoulder. Bend your right knee. Use your left fingers on fingertip to help you to roll over to the right. Just to have a nice stretch on your right chest. If this feels super uncomfortable, bring your elbow a little bit lower. And then come back to center. And we do the other side. Go pose your left arm. The fingers on the right arm and fingertips. Bend your left leg and then roll onto your left side. It's the best. I could stay here forever. And you can do so. Just pause the video. And then come back. And we come back into down dog. Slide your left foot in a little bit. Lift your right leg. And we meet up in the side lunges. You remember, you can step forward or you can add this hop. And we meet in this crescent and instantly come into the side lunges. To the right, to the left. And this time you can bring your arms literally to the left and to the right. If this is too much, bring your thumbs in your thighs, roll them out, but keep the ball of the big toe, the mount of the big toe grounded. And then we turn to the back for our funky dolphin or dolphin. Sweep the left leg back, lower the left elbow. Right hand aligns with the left elbow. And then push the weight into your wrist, into your hand. They are controlling the movement. The torso, the core is stabilizing it, and the shoulder is, and you're pushing yourself out of the shoulder blades, the muscles, the tissue around us is holding you. From here, bring your right hand forward, come into plank. Simple plank, which is nice. And from here, the heels are going to the left for our side plank. Everything is engaged. You lift up, the hands are, you are drawing the energy from the ground into your shoulder, through your shoulder girdle to your arm. From here, we meet in plank. For the side plank on the right, spin around. Bring your left foot behind for a dancer's table. Such a nice opening also. Your shoulder blade is drawing to the back side, to the back of your ribs. Spin around, bring your left forearm down for a forearm side plank. Lots of spinning, but you have to have a 360-degree vision to see the things coming. Otherwise, you will miss the chances. And then when you miss the chances, you won't be able to grab them with your hands. From here, forearm side plank. And again, lower your knee. It's your choice. You can go for Sphinx. You can go for another locust. You can go for another bow pose with grabbing the ankles from inside just to change the situation. Bring your hands behind your rib cage. Lift up into plank and to up dog. You're facing the back of the mat. Slide your left foot in a little bit. At a hop, we will meet in a high crescent. You can also step forward. Just add a hop here. Maybe you find some hang time. In a high crescent. Lower your right arm. The fingers are drawing away from each other and we side bend to the right. Your right ear is falling towards the right shoulder just to release the neck a little bit. And come back and we turn towards the side for our wide-legged forward fold. You can do the same as we did on the first side, or you go post your arms, and you know what? We open and close our fists. Just hold it here. Front ribs are in, neck is long, and you open and close your hands, just to give them a good massage, the forearms, the hands. And from here, I'll make a fist. Turn your heels a little bit in and rise up for a star pose, starfish pose. Make yourself big, make yourself visible, make yourself great and charismatic. And then turn your left foot forward, your right heel back for a warrior two. Your right glute is working. Then inhale, exhale into reverse warrior. Inhale, exhale into warrior variation. Inhale. And exhale. And then stay here. You can totally stay here or pull everything together. Everything you dealt with, everything you had to deal with and you had to solve in a way, to handle. Shift your weight onto your left foot and lift up the right for this half moon variation. Your right foot, the right heel is pushing back, not behind you, but back. And from here, without using your hands or try, bring your right knee beside your left foot and turn to the left. Bring your fingertips, you feel free to straighten out the back, the bottom leg, and then here barrel rolls. First to the right, to the left. I always choose the left. And then to the right. It's just an information. Use the practice to inform yourself. After the barrel rolls, we turn 180 degree to the back of our mats for this down dog. And then walk back to your feet for this long neck, and bring your knees into your armpits. Maybe, if not, you can totally stay here on fingertips or on blocks. But this is so nice. Bring your hands. Maybe you interlace the fingers the wrong way, or that it feels wrong. And just the weight of your hands is pulling a little bit on your neck, which is so nice. And then we turn to the left. Now the left foot is in front of our right. And we wrap the left arm under our right arm and we come up into eagle. We had this side, right? This one? And into eagle. Yeah, the sun is coming in. And be punchy and bring your fist or your hands towards the sky. Make sure that you don't fall into this. Just keep the front ribs in. There's a sit bone squeeze with the thighs, what we did in the reset. And the fist is like the figure on the sailing boats I see here. It's leading the way into your potential, into your future. So bring your left foot down, cross-ankled. Open your arms and we come into this cross-ankled crow. Totally optional. You can totally stay here and free up some more stuff if you feel like you have to. Otherwise, just bend your knees, bring your hands shoulder width distance, bring your knees as high up to your armpits as you can, and then just lean forward and trust your hands that they can handle this situation. Long neck, and then come back into a standing L. You can totally do this, lift your heels, or you can add a hop. If you're working on your handstands, do that. Then bring down the right foot and sit down. Come onto your back. Normally I teach 75 minutes normally, and normally I would add some warm down, but for the sake of this video, just bring your knees a little bit in, grab your knees, and then just circle around the sacrum a little bit one way, and just notice again, one last time, which direction you begin, and then the other way. And you can bring, if you have 2 blocks or a bolster, just bring the 2 blocks under your calves or the bolster under your knees and come into your Shavasana. You can totally switch off the video and have a Shavasana as long as you'd like to. And after you've come back from your Shavasana, we will meet us in a seated position, a comfortable position. When you come out of Shavasana, draw your knees in, turn onto your right side, and come into a comfortable seat. And you can bring your hands in Anjali Mudra and prayers, hands in front of your chest, or you can lay your hands, one hand, your working hand, into the other hand, and just notice which side is your working hand and which side is your, the one which takes care of your home, of your feelings, of your emotions. But acknowledge the work that your hands are doing for you. Some kind of an executive of your brain, of your mind, because your feet will show you how you are, how stable, how solid you can stand your ground. Your hands will show you what you can do. And this is what handstands are for. Handstands show you what you can do. Every time you bear weight on your hands, you know you can actually handle a situation. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope you will have a nice week, nice day, and that every situation that comes along your way, you will have the tools and the knowledge and the wisdom to deal with, and the courage. Namaste.